Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you're doing well there. Today is Truthful Thursdays, and today I want to share with you some new ideas so you can learn to manage your emotions more effectively. Let's face it, between where you are today and where you want to be in the future, your goals, your aims, your objectives, you're going to have to overcome certain obstacles. And one of the biggest obstacles that you're going to have to overcome and face are your fears. And today, the ideas that I'd like to share with you will help you control your emotions more effectively. Your emotions only last for between 4 and 30 seconds. That's how fast they are. Between 4 and 30 seconds. That's how long the emotion lasts for. However, one emotion can impact your performance for up to 4 hours. Imagine that. That emotion that comes and goes within 30 seconds can negatively impact your performance for up to 4 hours. We also know that it takes 5 positive emotions just to cancel out one negative emotion. So let me give you an example. When I was in the field of real estate, I had to go door to door and I had to door knock. And this is called prospecting. It's looking for new customers. It's looking for new business. And there was days that I just did not want to prospect. It was too hot, it was cold, it was wet, it was raining. However, if I didn't go and knock on those doors and ring on those bells, I'd never find new business. If I found new business, there was no sales opportunities. If there was no sales opportunities, I wasn't going to get paid. And to be able to face that rejection on the doors every single day, I had to be able to manage my fears. But sometimes the fear of rejection, the fear of ridicule got in my way. And I would delay. I would procrastinate. And I wouldn't go out and knock on those doors. See, what I started to realize was that the people who were in my field, who were more successful than me, they had to face the same fears. They were knocking on the same doors. However, they had better self-control over their fears. Where one negative emotion like fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, can impact your performance for up to 4 hours. And if I wasn't able to get past those fears, then I wasn't able to make sales. And if I couldn't make sales, then I couldn't eat. So I had to learn to control my emotions. And that's really what I want to share with you today. So today's topic is about self-control. Now, self-control is a component of self-regulation. Self-regulation is your ability to manage your emotions. And I want to give you 3 tips today that will help you manage your emotions more effectively. When you gain self-control, you become more confident. So this is the first thing that I've learned. Self-control is the ability to manage impulsive feelings and also distressing emotions. So as a business person, speaking to you as a business person, there's going to be 4 major emotions that you have to manage every day, every week, every month, every year. And as a matter of fact, you're going to have to learn to manage them during this lifetime. The first emotion that you've got to learn to manage is the emotion of anger. All of us are angry. Some of us are like cobras, king cobras, spitting venom. King cobra is very angry. But then you have those pythons who are less aggressive. They don't spit their venom, but they grab you and they just slowly tighten their grip on you. And this is how different people deal with anger. Some people spit venom like that king cobra. They get angry. Where others are like that constrictor. They just grab a hold and then ever so slowly, ever so angrily, they just start to tighten the grasp. So everybody deals with anger differently. And you've got to be able to manage that anger. If you're not able to manage that anger, you end up making really bad decisions in business. Secondly, all of us have to deal with people. And when people say no to our ideas, when people say no to our offerings, then we often experience a fear of rejection. All of us hate criticism. Nobody wants to be criticized. And so some people are very sensitive to a no. So imagine you're trying to build a business. You've got to take your ideas to market. You've got to speak to many people who are going to say no. The reality in business is 99% of the time, people are going to say no to your offer. And 1 out of 100 times, somebody will say yes. And that's quite a good ratio. So the question is, can you manage your emotions? Can you manage that fear? Can you hear those 99 no's and still be enthusiastic when you get that yes? All of us, every day, every week, every month, every year, for our entire life, we have to learn to manage rejection and criticism. It's going to come from your friends. The rejection and criticism is going to come from your family. It's going to come from the people closest to you. It's going to come from your team members. It's also going to come from your customers. So how well can you deal with that? And this is what self-control's about. The third fear we all have to learn to deal with is the fear of losing our stability. Humans, they are creatures of comforts. They love their comfort zone. They love their financial security. They love their career security. They love their relationship security. And anything that's a threat to that stability can cause them to have an emotional hijack. They feel like they're losing control. And then fourthly, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you desire to have your own business, you have to deal with the fear of making a mistake. And so many people are so afraid of making mistakes that they freeze. They become paralyzed. They stop taking action. And if you stop taking action and you can't manage that fear, you can never grow a successful business. Procrastination is not a good strategy. Action's a good strategy. However, what stops you from taking the right action is that fear of making a mistake. Why? Because there's consequences to mistakes. You could lose your reputation. You could lose your time. You could lose opportunity. And you could also lose money. So all of us have to learn to manage these 4 fears every day, every week, every month, every year throughout our entire life. So self-control is ability to manage those impulsive feelings and distressing emotions. Now, self-control is also about thinking clearly and staying focused under pressure. You're going to go through good and bad markets. No market is always good forever. No market stays bad forever. And you're always going to go in and out of these markets. And you're going to experience stress and pressure. How much stress can you handle? I know in my business, I had a beautiful head of dark brown hair. I had a beautiful dark beard. But look at it now. It's grey. See, business gives you stress. Life gives you stress. Family gives you stress. Money brings you stress. And all of us have to learn to deal with this stress effectively. We've got to be able to think clearly. If you can't think clearly, you can't make good decisions. If you lose your focus, and this is what the experts tell us, the latest research coming out of the University of Wisconsin, the business school, say that if we consider a plan B, if we consider quitting, and we consider that for as little as 10 minutes, that's enough to sabotage our entire success. One negative thought creates a negative emotion. That negative emotion, albeit only there for up to 30 seconds, it could kill 4 hours of performance. So we have to learn to manage our thoughts and our feelings. The third component of self-control is being composed. is being positive and unflappable even in trying moments. When you start your business, everything is going to go wrong. Everything's going to go wrong. The goals you set, you won't achieve. The budget you set will get blown out. The people that you hire will leave you. The destination where you ultimately get will take you 3 and 4 times longer than you were originally anticipated for. And you have to be able to remain composed. You've got to be able to feel positive in unpleasant times. You've got to have that level of optimism, and you can never second guess. You can never doubt yourself. And you're going to be tested of those good things that will come. Those fears and doubts and limiting beliefs are going to creep in. And what you're going to have to do is you have to be able to keep your composure during those challenging times. It's the people who can maintain composure during these challenging times that ultimately succeed. Those people who lose their head, they lose the heart, they lose their guts, they're the ones to fail first. Now, in this community, it's called Accelerate and Multiply. This community is all about you catapulting your influence. You cannot be a person of influence if you can't remain composed under pressure. The second part of this community is that we want to accelerate our impact. Now, if your fears get the better of you, you will never have a positive impact in the life of your community. And the third thing, we're here to unleash new income levels. And if you lose your head in a negotiation, if you start to doubt and second guess yourself entering a new market, you will fail before you begin, and you'll never unleash those new income levels. So let's review what we've learned today. You've learned about self-control. You've learned about managing impulsive feelings and those distressive emotions. Remember, there's 4 major emotions that you've got to manage. In addition, you've got to be able to think clearly and stay focused under pressure. You're going to be tested of the good things that will come, especially when you're in business. And you have to remain composed. You've got to remain focused and positive and absolutely unflappable in trying moments. Now, if you're not managing your emotions correctly today, and you don't attend to this and you don't learn how to manage them, then what will happen is the situations that you're in will only get worse over time. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. However, once you start to manage these emotions, you start to gain respect from your marketplace, your customers' level of trust in you increases, and your value as an individual also improves. So apply these lessons that you've learned today and build that successful business, build that successful career, grow that successful side hustle, and ultimately you will gain your freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day.